What's up, innovators? Mike Hill here, the Hill Innovative Solutions, and this is the Innovative Lifestyle. This is an episode that is really something that has been sitting on me the last few weeks, something that actually occurred just about a week ago now, that I thought would be worthwhile to talk about. Especially in these crazy times of pandemic and everything going on. So this episode will talk about fear versus faith. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Again, taking a bit of a hiatus, talking a little bit more abstract type stuff, a little bit less on the actual how to of product development. But this is something that I think is critically important. Actually, I think everything that we talk about on here is important. But this is one that I am literally going through personally right now, and am faced with daily. Most people are faced with daily. In fact, probably 15 minutes ago, maybe a little longer than that, I actually had to overcome my own fear, my fear of actually getting on here and recording. But talking faith versus fear, and I'm going to start off with a bit of a story from a week ago where uh, these are crazy times, right? The times that we live in, with the pandemic, and for me and my family, starting a business and venturing out into entrepreneurship, is it's a very scary time, and so. But I bring this up to remind you to have faith, and that faith can outweigh fear every day of the week, right? And it is on us to find our other selves, to overcome this fear and to live by faith. All right. And most people, and when I say faith, I'm not looking to get into any spiritual battles. It's just it is the proper use of the word faith. So a week ago, actually a few weeks ago, I had a personal expense come up. My automobile is starting to show its age, and it needed a lot of work to be done to it, and which is a high expense, one that we could easily afford, but I really didn't feel comfortable spending the money, and just not because we couldn't afford it, not because we aren't doing well, but because of fear, because I was so afraid that what happens if our revenue stream dries up, what happens if this happens, or various other things, and all these different scenarios that went through my head that would prevent us from way down the way, something happened, and I would regret, oh, why did I spend this several $1,000s to repair my truck when I really didn't need to, or and why didn't we just save that money? And I just, talking with my wife and continually going over this scenario and over again about how we could afford it, but I really don't want to spend it. I'm afraid to spend it, and uh, and it's funny. We talked about it and talked into circles, and I actually had a meeting with a client that day, and actually one of my largest clients, and I said, you know what, I'm going to make a decision as soon as I'm done with this meeting. As soon as I'm done with this meeting, I'm going to make this decision, to either spend the money or save the money. And so I have the meeting, and in the middle of this meeting, the client actually says to me, look, we've got a tremendous backlog of work that we would like for you to take over and take on, and we would like Hill Innovative Solutions to take this work on, and in fact, we've got so much, we would appreciate it, if you could just commit to us. We would like to make the same commitment to you. And in that moment, I thought to myself, oh man, uh, uh, you know, talk about just a slap to the face, all this anxiety and this fear that I had over what happens if income goes down, or what happens if revenue drops off, or what happens if this or that, and just fearing poverty, fearing things that really weren't that important, and just got a slap to the face and said, look, have faith, right? Because you are putting in the effort, you're putting in the work, you're doing the things that need to be done to achieve this, right? This expense is money that you have set aside for this type of expense. This is an expense that is needed to have a working automobile. This is an expense that you can afford, like I said, and this is something that you need to not fear, but to have faith in, and to have faith in yourself, have faith in your business, and faith in your clients that you're going to be successful. So, broad slap to the face. I'm glad I encountered it, because coincidentally that day I began reading a book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. If you're not familiar with any of Napoleon Hill's work, he's most famous for his book Think and Grow Rich. Which is actually talks about the 6 major fears preventing people from achieving their desires, and one of them is the fear of poverty, which is why I mentioned it a moment ago. But in the very beginning of the book Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill talks about his own personal struggle overcoming fear and living on faith to pursue his definitive purpose, right? And that's the kind of the sum of the book is actually there is no limit to what we can do as long as we're pursuing our definitive purpose, right? And so, as I was fearing the lack of business and the lack of income, I wasn't paying attention to, look, me doing Hill Innovative Solutions, me developing products, me coaching people on how to develop products is my definitive purpose. Me bringing as many products to market as I possibly can is my definitive purpose. I know it's my definitive purpose. It's what I love to do, and it's what I enjoy doing, and it's what I will continue to do as long as I possibly can. And I know that that's my definitive purpose. And I looked away from it. And in looking away from it, I was succumbed by fear. And it wasn't until faith stepped in that I was able to overcome that fear. So, interesting lesson. For those of you, and I bring this up because as entrepreneurs, as someone who has an idea and doesn't know what to do with it, as someone who has thought about starting their own business, as someone who is tired of the rat race or ready to break the chains, or someone who just wants to take their life to the next level, right? What is holding you back? What is your real fear? And is it fear? And can you overcome that fear with faith? And will that faith take you to the next level? I truly believe it will. It has in my life multiple times. I can't tell you how many times that I have stayed up all night long worrying about things that I really shouldn't worry about, and should just have faith that what I'm doing is right. Have faith that I have my definitive purpose, and that I'm pursuing my definitive purpose. So if you've got that idea, you've got that thing that you want to do, that goal, and you're not doing it, what is holding you back? What fear is controlling your life? Right? And it is time to let go of that fear, and it is time to have faith in yourself, have faith in what you're doing, have faith in your definitive purpose, and do Napoleon Hill calls be your other self, right? Become your other self, because no one can control your other self, right? You have your free will, you have your mind that only you are in charge of, and only until you let go of fear can you become that other self. So if you're ready to take a step, take a leap, I hope that you do so. If there's any way that we can help here at Hill Innovative Solutions, we look forward to. I ask that you follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook. We've got some exciting stuff. We got a free webinar coming up this Thursday, and I just hope that you overcome your fear and find a way to step out, be better, do the things that you dream of doing. All right, and I look forward to talking with you again in the future. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Change the world. Go invent something.